What's up, guys? Now, there's some things in life that get too much hate. Teen Titans Go, golfing. But most importantly, school. Now, before you think I'm crazy, hear me out. If I told you, you can go into a building where you can talk to your friends and make some new ones, get free, mediocre food, go to recess, depending on your age. And if you're older, you can go do fun activities that are called electives and learn things that could be useful depending on your future job. Would you call that place boring or compare it to a prison? And I know what you're thinking, but core. Classes which consist of reading, math, history, science aren't that bad either. And I'll prove it to you. First, let's talk about the most hated subject, math. Now, one of the biggest excuses for why math is bad is because when will we ever need to use math? But if that makes you hate math, I guess you should hate history, science, and like 40% of reading. I mean, just think, when will science ever be useful? Unless you work a scientific job. When you see rain, I bet you're not thinking, wow, I really wonder how rain works. If I don't find out how it works, I'll die. And that applies to most science. Even though it's good to know, it's not as necessary as you might think. And don't even get me started on history. Sure, it can be inspirational, but honestly, it's just a bedtime story. Unless we're talking about the Bible or something, because the Bible doesn't just apply to history, it helps us in the present as well, but not the point. And the only important part of reading is speaking, writing, obviously reading. But then after that, it's not that important. Light, poetry and pathos, ethos and logos, isn't that important. But compared to science and history, for the average human, it's more important. So with all that evidence, we can see that math isn't that bad, but it can sometimes get confusing, and I can honestly relate to that. But I have proposed an solution. What if we turn math into a hand-on activity? Now, just hear me out. Maybe, instead of just getting a worksheet on how to find the area of a triangle and a trapezoid, instead, we get projects that make us use area of a shape in a real-life scenario. For example, you have to make a blueprint for a building of your choice extra credit if you're building benefits. Us humans or our environment. And obviously it's different projects for different topics, and some works better than the other, but this lets you mix your creativity with math, just like in the real world. And for history, maybe we could make props or drawings and maybe even dress up as significant pieces of history. But I have this one history teacher, and even though we don't have fun projects like that, she would sometimes tell us the history like it's a bedtime story, and it just makes it much more entertaining. Now I could yap more about this, but I'll let you guys make your ideas to make subjects more fun. And lastly, remember that just waking up inside of a house is a blessing. And we take these for granted sometimes, but we need to appreciate everything. And I mean everything, including school. Well, bye, and remember, Jesus loves you.